Me too. I can any clap. It don't matter.
I tried to make the logo on there that.
Oh, and I didn't get all
All
that.
right.
That's okay, that's okay.
I had one.
That's okay, we can work with what anybody has.
It's on my desktop.
Sorry,
I don't
just
want
coffee.
Are you feeling better than the last
Yeah.
time I talked to you? I mean,
Check.
everybody.
Check. Check.
Late, you shouldn't have pneumonia.
You are not no lady.
Is Kerrie,
I'm
this
fine.
on upward on your jacket somewhere?
That's why I kind of wore this, because I knew I had to flip it to something. Is it? Oh, it goes that way, okay. Yeah, go ahead. I've never worn one before.
Perfect.
Okay, there you go.
You're ready.
That alone is.
You are live and you're.
Oh, we are live.
What time is it? Are we late yet?
Are we talking KW time or are we talking real time? See if anybody else gets on here. I've never actually watched it, like watched a Zoom of the meeting. What is it they're looking at? That or the screen?
Screen.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, I think this is exactly like that.
Okay.
That's what I believe.
Okay.
I don't think there's any way. You know, sometimes I watched from home yesterday.
Mhm.
And it's really hard to hear. And I'm wondering, I don't know if there's anything they can do differently, but especially anybody commenting, you can't hear it at all. You guys are probably.
That's how, that, yeah.
Would, if I put like earbuds, like I can only turn my computer up so far, could I put a speaker or earbuds or something? to make
No,
it-
what happens is it's picking up the mic. And so anything that's happening out there, it's automatically
Muffled.
muffled, especially because if somebody is talking and it's a loud room, you don't want all the background noise. So it's intentionally designed that way. The thing that would help the best is whoever's speaking, if there's a question, and I'll try and do that also. If there's a question, I'll repeat the question so that people who are watching can hear, because you can't hear.
Yesterday, I was just like.
Yeah, you can't hear that.
Caesar didn't have the mic either. When
Is
he
that
was
what-
talking.
I know when he was talking, I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
didn't
he didn't
have the mic,
mic.
and I was gonna mention that, and I thought, oh, well.
Oh, yeah, I was like, I didn't know
Oh,
what to
it's
do.
like
I just.
big-
So is anybody
gosh.
on yet? Looks like nobody's on yet. So we're not, somebody's like not waiting for us.
I'm terrible at computers and I somehow
I
got it on
can-
my desktop because I thought I did, and then when I went back, it wasn't there, but then the next day it was, and I'm like, I don't know how I did that.
I'm so dirty.
So,
I'm working from home and you're not taking your computer, I bring it out and look how dirty it is.
oh,
Yeah, it's
no,
kind of
I did.
gross.
Oh my
So-
gosh, I gotta be cleaning that
After
out.
I got cat hair.
Okay, so I think we will go ahead and get started. Is this gonna bother you, Steve?
No, you're.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I've got us kind of plotted to go about an hour and a half. It could be less than that, depending on what the questions are. And if we have more questions or we need to do it again, we can do another one. Because I think that something like this, working with Canva or any program, it's going to, that knowledge is gonna build because there's so much to go over. A little bit of background. My background is in journalism and design and marketing and writing and all that kind of stuff. But that being said, I used to work in like Adobe and PageMaker way back when on my computer when I worked for a publishing company. And then when everything kind of changed over to phones and stuff, I was literally using Pic Collage, the free program, to do everything. And when I heard about this Canva program and everybody talked about how cool it was, and it was incredibly overwhelming to me.
That's a lot.
It was a lot. There was like, I didn't know what templates to use. How did I decide what was going to work? Like, it just was overwhelming. And I reached out to my daughter and she said, Mom, it's easy. And I said, can you make me a gift certificate? Because I don't know how to do this. So I went and I attended a class that one of the chambers had. It was helpful. And then I just had to dig into it. And that was probably about a year and a half ago. By no means am I an expert, but I know my way around it. And I've taken like Canva 2.0 classes from other people. And I was like, oh, I did know more stuff. So when Laura said, hey, can anybody do a Canva class? I'm like, I'll give it a shot. Just for purposes, who already had Canva downloaded? Okay. Have you worked with Canva or did you just download it?
I tried.
Okay.
It made a couple of things.
Okay. So you're here as a throw in whatever you can figure out for me. Okay. I figured you did because I was like, why is she sitting in the class? Because she knows all about this, I'm sure. So if you guys have specific questions or whatever, we can also go through that. Do you have the pro line or just the free version?
I have the free version.
Okay.
I'm not opposed to
Okay.
the pro
Yeah.
line
Yeah.
Me too.
version.
Okay.
But when I go to get it, it tells me I'm a team of two and it's 300 a year versus 120.
And I
Mm,
saw where I had the choice.
you just want to do it as an individual.
It was like 15.
That's what I tried to do.
It was, I think it's 109. I saw maybe, no, 120, I think for an
Yeah,
individual. So like, but I'll show you kind of the differences. You absolutely can work with the starter version, the free version, but there are some really cool things you can do with the pro version. Some of the editing features, some of the other options that you have. And I talked about we were going to work with branding. Branding is a pro feature, but we can still do everything that we're talking about in terms of color specs and that kind of thing. Branding just kind of makes it easier and it keeps it all right where you need it. Okay. So when you open up Canva, this is the home screen. You can kind of see, it shows all the different projects that you've done. I'm also going to sit down here because it's easier for me to see the screen and work with it as if I was working on a computer. So if you guys have questions, just shout out. So these are just designs that I've done. This is the one I just did last night. I had done this one for back when we had the lunch and learn a couple weeks ago. Some of these things you don't think about using, we created an offer instruction sheet and we attach that to every listing so that the other agents know what to send. I mean, it was super easy. I just need to go in and I need to make some changes to some of the information, but this was super easy and it was just a regular document. And this mouse is kind of jumpy. What I really like doing with Canva is I just have a basic, hey Laura, I just have a basic template that I like using. Caesar asked me, what's the difference between a project and a template? A template is something that's already created for you, and a project is something that you are working in.
Is that
Okay.
what I did up there?
No, but I'm going to show you. So this is one of the projects that I use. And it started out, I created a coming soon. Okay, we did that. And this was actually a template that I had found over here in templates.
Okay.
And so I just made my first one. But after I made my first one, this little feature up here says duplicate page.
Oh.
So to make the next one, same style.
Okay.
Okay. You can also, this is actually, it actually plays. So I made this one for the fall. And that, all you have to do is you animate.
How do you animate?
Up, let's see if I go to this,
Oh, I see
animation.
it. And what'd you just click on?
I just clicked on the page.
Oh, okay, click on the page and it'll come up. And animate, what's 5.0s?
Where do you see that?
Right next to animate at the top. No, over
No.
to the middle.
Oh, seconds. That's how long it lasts.
Oh, okay, and then position.
Position. This shows you like the different layers. And as we design something, I'll show you. So like if you want to move something, that determines like where your layer is. Okay. So what I did, once I kind of was like, okay, most of my posts are going to be on Facebook. I just like the square. You can go with a rectangle and carry it across Instagram, whatever you want to do, but just whatever you like. But then I just duplicated a page and I can just slide my information in. I can just change the name. So congratulations to our buyer. This was just a style that we liked. I've already got my logos in there. I've already got our picture in there, our phone numbers in there. I don't have to recreate it every single
Yeah,
time.
'cause that's time.
It's very time consuming. Being able to do this is not a feature of Pro. So like if I wanted to do this one and I liked this style, I would just duplicate my page. Now I have this page. It can say the same. Maybe it's yeah, coming soon.
Or your phone.
Yeah. So I can do that. I already have my logo. If it's not, for us personally, if it's not a senior property or we're not working with a senior, I can use just my regular logo. And all of that is in your uploads over here. So I'm showing you this as an overview of what it can do, and then I will show you how to do it.
Okay.
You can use Canva for anything, flyers, presentation,
PowerPoint.
listing appointments. You can also go into Etsy. There are people who design an entire marketing program from flyers to a presentation, buyer's presentation, listing presentations, everything. And the designers will charge you anywhere from $12.95 to $50. But lots for
the whole
everything.
thing.
What they do is then they send you the link. You can open it in Canva and it already has all your placeholders and everything in it. You just change your information. So like some of the pages that they've done, we'll talk about um, um, almost like a blog, I'm going to say. So maybe the page says, working with an agent is super important, not these words, super important, and this is what we can do for you. And then you just drop in your information, but you don't have to think through that process. It's already been done for you.
Mhm.
But you can buy that package from Etsy and bring it in here. But if you don't want to do that, we have other options in here and I'll show you how to do that. You can do flyers. You can do open house flyers like you hand out when you go and you canvass the neighborhood. You can do all of
So
that.
how do you drop them in there?
That's what I'm going to show you how to
Okay.
do. Now on the branding kit, like if you notice my colors are all a little bit different. I used to only do just one color. Like I would only do, let's say this, because these are the two colors from our logo.
Right.
Yes, we do use the KW stuff for compliance purposes. You have to always use, if your phone number is on it, the office phone number's got to be on it. And with your logo, you need also the KW logo in whatever format. It doesn't have to be the red one. It can be the black, it can be the gray and that kind of thing, which is in that zip folder. But you have to have it on there. Even if you are posting on your personal page and you're saying, hey, I just sold this house, you still need all of your contact information in there because MREC is going to treat that as an ad. Even though it's not a paid ad, an ad, even if it's free, is still considered an ad. Okay. But I used to do all just this. And I had somebody say, well, I like to vary mine because on first glance, if somebody saw this and then they saw something a week later, they don't know that it's different.
Oh, yeah.
Not that
Sure.
anybody really pays that much attention probably,
But it's-
but in case they do. So because I have the pro account, there's this little thing called branding. Okay. It's a brand kit. Anytime you see like this little, see that little crown type of thing, whether it's a template, whether it's a typeface, whether it's anything, if you see that, that means it's pro. Okay. But you can still do things. So see, I've got a branding kit. What I did was, that's one of the things you can create. I have all my logos here.
Did you create them in there?
I did.
And do they charge you yearly for that? use of
They
that?
do.
Okay.
I think I looked at last night, it's like $120, and that's not for a team, that's for an individual. Team, you can have up to 3 people and it's $100 per person for the
That's
team.
whole Canva thing though, right?
You get all the features of it. It's the pro account, but like let's say you and Laura decided you wanted to split the cost, basically. You're a team in Canva's eyes. You guys can all pitch in your money to help pay for it type thing. It's 120. I just looked last night. Yeah. It's 120, but you get a lot of the features and I'm going to show you why. So like I uploaded all of our things. Fun fact. See that picture? That's the picture that they did for the headshots here. But it was the wrong side for Tom and I both.
Oh,
See that picture? That is not a flip. Because when you flip, it's gonna look just a little off. Like if you take your picture or somebody you're one of your loved ones and you flip it, it doesn't look quite right because you're used to seeing somebody a certain way. So I actually took this style, I flipped it, and in Canva, I took the good picture of me and the good picture of Tom, and I overlaid it to line everything up so that we still don't like our picture, but it's better than it was.
does anyone
No.
like their picture? That's what I want to know. I can't find
yeah,
a picture.
yours was good.
Which did she do yours?
I didn't do them. This was back before. So
I came in like a whirlwind. I like it. Okay, it's better than all my other ones.
so I was able to recreate our headshot so that it wasn't
that's
just a
good.
flip, if that makes sense. What I did was I flipped it. I looked at the alignment and the spacing, and then I overlaid with those layers I was talking about. So you can overlay it, and I could put his head in with his good smile, and you would have never known that.
No,
Okay.
wouldn't have. I don't
So,
look at the
but then I
people's
saved
comments.
it. So it's in our file like this, and all I have to do. So back to the color thing, because I have my brand kit set up. Let me get to the brand. Not logos. I can do shuffle, and it'll take all of my colors that I have in my brand, and I can shuffle them
Oh, that's cool.
so that I don't have to redesign it. I can just make it look different. Now, when we're talking about colors, again, this might be like if you have a pro, if we do another class and maybe it's pro, how do you create that branding kit? When I look at my colors, these are all the colors in my branding kit. And the reason I have these colors, so black and this gray and that red, those are actually the same KW colors. Okay, they're taken straight out of KW specs. So if you guys don't have those specs written down, we can write down what the spec is and we can change colors. This color and this color are our personal branding colors, but I didn't want everything to just be in those colors. So I looked at color layouts and I was like, okay, these are variations of the blue. These are variations of the green. And obviously these are variations of gray that go with my black and white. So it gives me, just a little bit more flexibility rather than it just being always the same flat colors. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So that's what like a branding kit can do.
But you have to be in pro.
For pro, but we don't have to worry about that. I mean, we can still work with it we can still walk through doing a layout and you don't have to have your branding. But that's one of the features. One of the other features that's nice about the pro account, for example, you can resize things. See that little thing? You can resize. So let's say you create this flyer and you go, I really want to use it as an Instagram. The pro account allows you to take a current existing design. You can change it to whatever your other one is going to be. And it saves it as a new file as a resize. You don't have to go in and move everything.
Okay.
Once you open it into that, it will make you, I mean, you'll have to adjust some things, but you don't have to redesign something in that different format. So that's one of the features of Pro that's really nice. The other thing that I like about the Pro account is, let me do some editing. Let's see. Um. Oh, background remover, that's where it is. So see that right there? Background remover, oh, that was a bad picture to do it with. One of the features is background remover will let you completely take out everything. You can also change, you can erase, but again, that's a pro feature. In some cases, that in itself makes it worth it
To
to
make
me.
it a silhouette.
To do whatever
Okay.
you want. I've seen people take a picture and they will move a car out of, like if you take a picture and there's a car in front of it, you can take that. Like I could take this and where do I want to go to editing. I can do background remover. Let me see where the edits. Oh, there it is. Magic eraser. See that right there? I can do magic eraser. I can take that out. If there was a car sitting in this driveway and that was the only time, or like at one point we had a dumpster sitting in front of this, I could have taken the dumpster out with magic eraser. I can
And
do,
that's pro.
that's pro.
It's really worth the 120.
Just to have that feature for me was worth it.
Don't want to pay 300
No.
because I'm a.
So see, it's
not a-
gone. So you wouldn't have to, or let's say I took a picture and the dog ran across or whatever. So I can go in and I can change it. Other features that the Pro offers is Magic Edit. You can Magic Expand. I actually used that feature when I made a picture for my mom. So I use this Magic Expand. Let me look, I'll show you a project. I think I still have it. These are all my projects that I've done. Oh, we've done a video. Oh, let me go to home. See how hard.
So initially, it's a lot of setup, but after you get all set up and you have templates already, it's like.
It's a piece of cake and it's really not that hard. Another template that we have. This is testimonials.
Okay, and you got that from template.
That's a template. It's a template when you're using something that's already designed. Once you
Okay.
put it in, once you start doing stuff to it, it's considered a project. Does that make sense? So what I did was these are testimonials we've gotten from our Google stuff. I haven't
So you
changed
just
out the
brought
picture
it
yet,
over.
but I brought it over. This particular design didn't work. This was Amy. She came and gave it was the talk. When you see this design right here, that is actually a frame. So I click on it, it's an element. So see that frame? You can do all different shape frames.
Okay.
And what happens is when you have that, and if you buy a template project on Etsy, it'll have these in it. What you do is where your uploads are, you don't have to crop. It drops it automatically into whatever that shape is. So this is kind of a weird layout for this style, but because most of our pictures are horizontal, but see, I can drop it in there. And when there's a frame, you don't have to do anything to it. My granddaughter. Aw,
I just have a new one. How old is she?
she's 9 months.
9 months.
Yeah.
Mine's 5.
So see, I can just drop any pictures in there. These are all uploads. So if you want to upload a picture, and I know I'm jumping all over the place. So if you tell me
No,
to rein
that's
it in, then just tell me rein it in. So upload a file. Oh, this isn't my computer. I can't do that. But I can tell you guys how to do it. So you would go into uploads
For a picture.
for
something like
your
that.
pictures, for your logos. those are the things that I told you guys, go ahead and download them to your computer.
Mhm.
This is where you're gonna upload your files. So you go into upload, and then for me, it would be different.
That's
They'd be
where you put
downloads.
logos,
Okay.
photos.
Yeah, so you would go into your downloads or wherever you have them. Actually have a logo file, but wherever your logos, your headshots, all of that kind of stuff is, you go into that. In this case, let's say it was in downloads. Looking to see if I have anything that would actually, these are all presentations. These are all PowerPoint presentations. The presentation that Tom did for teaching about seniors, I created that in Canva. So, and I used a template to start, and then I was able to duplicate
And you got
pictures
that
off of here.
Yeah.
Mhm. So, pictures. Oh, let's see if we have any pictures. Saved pictures. Nope, no saved pictures.
Not like my computer, man.
No saved pictures. Probably because this is a shared computer. But if there were JPEGs in here or PDFs, I'm sorry, PDFs don't upload very well. You don't upload PDFs, right?
Very rare.
I was gonna say, I don't think I've ever uploaded it. Yeah. What you're gonna mostly work in with your logos is gonna be a JPEG or a PNG. The difference between those is a JPEG is it's gonna be treated as if it was like a photograph. A PNG is really good for your logos because it's clear. So like if you've ever seen anything online for a logo that has like that little checkerboard in the background, that's a PNG file. So when you import it, it doesn't have a background.
Right.
The reason I personally feel like it's important to have both versions, because if you go back to one of these other files on my project. It's hard to do. So if I go into one of my folders, depending on what your background is, if I had this as a PNG, you're not going to see it. So then I would have to drop a white square behind it. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? If it's on white,
You'll
it's
only-
great. Like on here, I could drop in my logo on here
Mhm.
and it would be fine. But behind this, it doesn't work. So I personally use both PNGs and JPEGs. Kind of depends on how I'm using it.
So the PNG has the white background?
PNG is clear.
Okay, it's clear.
Uh-huh.
And so it would show up just with the O'Connor team logo.
Uh-huh.
And,
So like this is a PNG. Actually, let me go back to that project.
it shows up in a square.
Mine did because I cropped it.
Okay.
But if I'm going to I'm going to work in this one. So now I'm back to elements.
Uh-huh.
And if I'm going to add, I'm going to go to my uploads. I'm going to go to my brand. I'm sorry. And in here, this is where I'm going to see all of them. See how I personally renamed mine as JPEG. So if I bring this over, oh, that's big. If I bring this over, it'll drop it in. See how it's got the white
Okay,
background?
yes, I see.
But if I bring in a PNG, see the
Okay,
difference?
yes.
So sometimes you might want a PNG, sometimes you
Right.
might want a JPEG. There might be easier ways to do this, but this is the way I've done it. This is just the way that I do it. When you're creating your logo, you can create it with a white background, but you might not always want a white background. So I do like having both, so that I personally know which
Yeah.
ones they are, because it wouldn't necessarily show, I guess it does. Well, this does say PNG.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so here's
Oh, you
here's
do
my
that.
PNG.
Okay.
See, that's actually my logo. I mean, our picture, but this was the original one.
Okay.
So what I did
good.
for that picture is I flipped it. Oh, here's my edit. Oh, flip. I flipped it. But if you know us, that doesn't look like my face. It kind of does,
It does.
but kind of, but if you look at it, you're like, it's not quite right. No, it's because the way your brain is used to seeing someone. Yeah, well, so my ex-husband actually had a birthmark on half of his face. And so you were used to seeing him a certain way. And if you flip that picture, it's still him, but you're like the smile just doesn't look quite right. It almost looks like a fake smile. So what I did to create this logo,
You're very
with-
detailed, my dear.
I know I am. So, but what I did was I created this logo, then I went back, I pulled in my pictures
And laid them on.
and I
there.
overlaid it, but I did all that in the editing feature, okay? So this is background remover. You can, if you don't have a PNG file, you can bring it in like this and take it out, but that feature is pro.
Yeah. And it
Magic
kinda
Eraser
shows a little
is
color
pro.
around the item too, doesn't it?
No, actually, I put that in. I can't remember where I had that feature. But what I like to do, oh, and if you mess up or you're like, oh, I hate that, you can go back. This little arrow right here,
Yeah.
this is amazing. You're like, oh, I'm back to beginning.
Huh.
So like this one doesn't have a shadow around it, but this one does.
PNG.
I think
Or did you clear it
so.
up?
They're one of the features, and it might be in one of the special editing things. I was able to put a shadow behind
Okay.
it
I see.
or-
I see that.
because it's just enough to make it stand out on those colors.
Yeah.
On this one, it's not too bad.
Mm.
Okay. So these are a lot of the things that you can do. But the main thing is when you've got those logos, even if they're not in a branding kit and they're just in your uploads, you can still find them. Okay. But you'll upload your picture and then you can drop it wherever you want. So let's say you're starting from scratch and you don't know. So let's together, let's create a new design. Okay. We're going to go to create a design and type in the word real estate folder or real estate flyer.
Okay, I gotta write this down. I'm one of those.
You can do all different kinds of things. We can do social media, whatever, but let's just go with real estate flyer, which you can then also save as and use it as a post. Because once you create it, it's saved in Canva and Canva automatically saves. So I don't know how often it saves, but it saves. So it's a great thing. So you can automatically get it. You can have it in your thing and then you can download it. Then when you're creating a social media post, you upload it just like a picture. Okay. So type in real estate flyer.
Oh my
And
goodness, comes up with so many.
so this is just it's standard 8.5 by 11, but look at all the things that have already been designed for you. Okay. Because I'm using an education account, which is the same as a pro. I have this little symbol right here. If you have the pro account, see that? Yours probably has a little crown. If
No.
you're using the free version.
Mine just has 3 little dots. There.
Let's see what you got.
Whoops.
No, okay. You're not seeing pros, so see this little
Oh, I see.
crown, that means it's a pro
Why
So-
isn't it up there?
because that one's free.
Okay, so I've got what she's got.
So the
Yeah, okay. So the free. Oh, scroll on down.
Crown is. the
Oh,
crown.
yeah, I
Yeah.
got mine. I'm terrible.
See that little crown?
Yeah.
Anytime you
Oh,
see that, or like the resize feature or some of those editing,
That's.
yes, that's a pro feature. So when you see that crown, that means you don't have access to the features or that style, that design.
Okay.
But these are all things that are already created. If you go scroll on down and you see where it says that hello, do you see the hello thing?
Yeah.
Yes. But what's nice about that one is it's an open house flyer. It's already designed. It's got the fill this in. Thank you for coming.
We click on it and see it, or it won't let us, I wonder.
It won't, but I can show you what it looks like
That's great.
because I've actually used it, but there's probably another one.
Oh, it lets you see.
Did you pay the extra money?
Do you pay it through Apple?
I have no idea.
It said my payment failed, so I don't, but then I had a payment through Apple. I didn't.
I don't know.
So I don't understand what's going on.
I don't know.
I thought I did that.
I thought I
Have-
had the free account and it's saying try it free for 30
Okay.
days.
Yes, because of what it's wanting you to do is
Pro.
get used to all those really nice features.
Okay.
Again, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But I was using the basic one, and then when I started seeing the other things that you could do, the background eraser, the more designs, that kind of thing, I was like,
When you
worth
click
it.
on to try it for free, it wants your credit
Yeah.
card because you have until like May
Yes.
23rd.
So-
And then they automatically.
so you don't have to do on that, but there are lots of things. You don't have to recreate everything. For example, okay,
That's
stay where
worth it.
stay where y'all are. Stay where you are, and I'll show you what that thing looks like.
Evidently I have Pro but haven't paid it.
Yeah, you have the
Um,
30-day version, they want you to get through.
These are all the designs that okay, these are all the things that I've done.
Let's do it.
I'm just telling you, it's so worth it. I can't imagine going back, but you can do it. You really can do it without. So these are all things that these are all different things I've done. This is a Facebook banner. This is a flyer taken straight out of our presentation. So I was able to duplicate it and pull pieces of it in. This is one of those that I was saying it's already designed, but it's already got your thing. So like my daughter was able to drop in her picture. Trying to show you that open house.
Yeah, can you
thing.
just search like open house? If
You can, yeah. I was just gonna show you one of them that I had done. Yeah, I did a long time ago.
Okay, how did?
I created this. Show you a lender's checklist. This was already all designed. It's a lender's checklist. A lot of times we'll give to new buyers. It's not what we're saying, but they're like, what are they gonna ask for? What are they gonna ask for? So when I was in class, in the real estate class, one of the people talked about the rule of twos. So I just took that information. These boxes and everything were already set up here. I dropped our logo in, changed the wording. This was actually like an education student checklist. That was what the template was.
Oh,
Oh,
that's cute.
I can't find it. So yes, we can type in open house flyer. No. See what happens.
Where did you start out again? Design?
Go to create design.
Oh, okay, up there.
Look, I know I have it in here. Oh, it's an open house. So you're gonna, this right here, create a design. And I just, let's put in house. Open house invitation, open house flyer.
Open house flyer. right
Okay. There you go.
Is it-
So so when you bring in open house flyer, this looks like a lot of different things.
Yeah,
Okay. But that one, for example, and I'm just open house flyer. Look, boom.
and that's.
It's already designed. Uh-huh. It's already designed. So if you look at this,
Oh, and we can use that one because it's.
because there's no crown.
Yeah.
Okay, so this right here, this is just some generic picture. Actually, does anybody recognize this picture?
It kind of looks like.
It was in the PowerPoint from yesterday. It was in our slideshow yesterday.
Oh.
I think it was, I don't remember which slide it was, but it was in one of Brandy's things. And the reason it's in there is it's one of Canva's stock photographs.
Okay.
Okay. But let's say I'm designing this open house flyer And I have the free account. So then I can go into my uploads. And let's say that this is the house. I've uploaded it from my photographer. So it's on my computer. I've uploaded it here. Drag that here, boom. I can change this wording. Maybe it's a 4-bedroom house. 4 bedrooms, 4,400 square feet. And then I would put in my information. Oh, shoot, I didn't want to do that. Oh, I meant to leave that on there. So you go to your little back arrow. Okay. And then this is actually where I would probably put my logo. So let's say I'm like, yeah, I'm going to move this over a little bit. This right here, see that little cross thing? That's your holder. And what's nice about Canva, if you're OCD like I am about alignment, see those little those little lines?
Yeah.
That means it's perfectly centered.
Okay.
See the one that goes across where it says contact us? That means that it's all lining up horizontally. Okay. If you do this, you can see where those little dotted lines are?
Yeah.
That means it's lined up into that space. See over there on the edge? That means that it's lined up with the word open house. So those little space holders are great. So I've got that. I'm going to move it over here just for right now. And right here, I'm going to add an element. I think I'll do a frame. And let's say I want, let's see if there's a rectangle. There's all different frames you can put in here. I'm just going to go with the rectangle here. I'll drop that here. Now I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to size it so that it's a little bit smaller. And where this can kind of get funky is when you import your logo or whatever it is, it'll try and fit to that size. So you may have to go back and do some adjusting on what the actual shape and size is. Okay. If you grab a corner and you hold your mouse, that makes it go in proportionately. Does that make sense? Okay. If you grab one of these flat parts, it only is adjusting that one edge. That makes sense? Okay. So now I have my placeholder and it's a frame. So anything I drop into there is going to snap to that size. Okay. Instead of me working out of my branding kit, I'm just going to work out of this. Okay. So these are all uploads. They're uploaded here, but they are in my branding kit. So if you have a pro, you can go into your branding kit and all your stuff is there. You don't have to scroll down. If you don't have a branding kit, they're still in your uploads. So I take this and see, well, if I drop it here, it just wants to put it overall. But I'm not going to do that. So if I take it and I drop it here, see how it snapped right in there? Now it's there. But in this particular case, see how I have the KW? So I do need to actually make it bigger. And then I'll make it smaller so that I can move it around. So that's what I mean, is sometimes you have to adjust the size of the box to get it to hold whatever it is.
My placeholder here, if I wanted to go get my logo or whatever, where would that be?
Your own logo,
Well,
it's in your computer.
over here. Oh.
You have to
okay.
upload it. See where it says, upload
Uploads?
your upload file.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Upload file. So click on the upload file.
Oh, okay. Don't ask me where it's at.
It's probably in your
Oh.
downloads.
Well, we'll just try this.
Okay.
Since
Headshot.
it's right here.
Yeah.
And easy. Why didn't it do it?
It is.
Oh, okay.
doing it.
Oh, okay. Now.
So now if you slide that over here and drop it into your box.
Oh, she's
Nope.
A little
Nope.
large.
Okay,
isn't
so go back to your little reduce arrow. No,
she? No. Okay.
go back up to your little back, go back again. Now try and grab it, and you want to slide it over until you see it in the box. There.
Right
Now let
there?
go. Yes. Now it's there.
Okay. How'd I know it was in the box? She saw something I didn't.
Because when you slid it over here,
Uh-huh.
it was, when you slid it across, it was taking up the whole box. Then we went back with the little arrow up there.
Right.
When we slid it to here, then you could see it pictured in
Okay,
there and it dropped it in.
And I'm here, like, right here?
Yeah, so if you drop it, so Sandy, if you drop it, see right now it's covering your whole picture. If you let go, it's going to replace the whole front.
Okay.
If you had it slid down below,
Okay, so I need to go lower.
then it would
Okay.
be down below and you'd see the top part of it. You want to slide, if you're using the frame that has the little picture, the landscape, that's considered a frame. It's not a box. It's actually a placeholder. When you slide it into that, anything you drop into that box is going to snap to that.
Sliding it over there, but I'm not seeing, okay, so I'm staying below
going.
there.
No, keep going. There. See how it is sitting in there?
No. Oh, I
Yeah,
see. Okay,
now you
I
let
did
go,
see. Okay.
and it's right there.
Okay. I couldn't see that. Like, what is she looking at?
Oh, I'm
Okay.
just goofing around.
Okay.
I like that.
See, and once you do that, you can save that as an image that you can always then just
Okay.
use
Yeah.
coming in.
Meet every Monday and work for an hour to try to.
Okay, so did you see what we were talking about, like with frames and snapping into it? Okay.
Now I do.
Okay, so this was just a template that we put that information in. Change your information. Again, you want to make sure that if you're going to use your logo, you're going to use KW also.
And you gotta upload this and,
And that's what's in that zip file.
okay.
Okay. In that zip file,
What
I'm
zip
not, in the Facebook post that I made, I put a link to the zip file
yeah?
that has KW Southland
Oh,
logos.
okay. It did.
There's
I didn't
JPEG, PNG, and then there's also some other things like EPS files. You would use those if you were getting shirts and logos and like embroidered things, because they're going to use a different kind of file sometimes. Sometimes you might hear them called vector file, VECTOR.
So which ones are for?
You want
shirts?
JPEG and PNG. Those are your extenders. And you're going to, for publishing and stuff like
Okay,
that.
Publishing, and what for shirt?
Probably, it might be a vector file, but it's not called that. EPS, I think. It's another file that's in there. But depending on who like Dean's Trophies, they don't necessarily have to have that. They have in their system, they can convert it, but some other ones won't be able to. I think if you do Vistaprint for t-shirts, sweatshirts, that kind of thing, screen printing, that you can bring in a JPEG file and they can clean that up. It'll make it a little more specific. Where you might need in that zip file that has the stuff or that has the logos in it, you might actually need the PDF file for printed material. And that doesn't mean like, oh, I'm going to go to Kinko's and get some flyers made. Like if you're getting a banner,
Okay.
you're going to want to use something that's in that PDF style. That's a whole nother class, but it's because your quality is going to be better. It's not going to be digity when you blow it up. Okay. That's a whole different class. That's a whole different class. But within that zip file for the KW Southland Partners logos, they have a gray one, they have a black one, they have a white knockout one, and then they have the red and black version. So you can kind of, and that's great. Sometimes depending on your background, it doesn't necessarily work. So that's the standard. Is that one the JPEG or the PNG? Do you know? Okay, see and what? Okay, PNG. So if you brought that if you downloaded that into your Canva, whenever you dropped it in, it would look great on a white or a light background, but if you have that black background, it gets kind of muddy. So that's why sometimes you do want to have a background. You want to have the JPEG and treat it like a photograph as opposed to a PNG, which is more like a graphic element, if that makes sense. That's also probably another class. So we can change our information. This right here, let me see if they've got that as a placeholder. Okay. This right here, if you hit delete, it's going to ask you if you want to delete the image or delete the grid. If you delete the grid, it takes the thing out completely.
Okay.
Okay. If you want to delete the image, it's a
Then you can replace
placeholder.
it.
Okay, that's the difference on that. That is not a feature of Pro. That's just with either thing. So when you go to delete it, if you want to replace it, you don't have to delete it to replace it,
Right.
but you can. So for example, that's not a picture of our house. I don't know who that's stock pictures. Okay, let's find one of the ones I've downloaded. I want to use the picture that our photographer took. I'm going to slide that over. So this is what I was just talking about with Sandy.
Yeah.
So see how it's just kind of sitting there?
It needs to be.
Now it's
six
dropped
at-
somewhere, like it just drops it in the middle.
uh,
If you bring that picture over down here, it's basically sticking off the end of the page.
Right.
It's not where you want it. If you bring that picture here, see how it's snapped to?
Yeah.
If I drop it there, it's going to overlay it over the entire thing. So if you just hold your cursor down, it'll drop it and replace it. Now, let's say that the frame is a square frame and you want to feature, you want to have it cropped in a little different.
Mhm.
Now let's do this one. I'm going to drop this picture in. Okay. So this is my picture. You can't really see it. So I'm like, I want to crop in. You can still use that frame, double click on it. See up here where you've got you can see the edges. That's the full size of the picture, but the frame cropped it into that.
Right.
But I want to make that bigger. So I'm going to grab the corner. You can see where that window pane
Yes.
grid is. That shows you so that you can center. So now I took that same picture,
Oh, and
I
that's
cropped it
bigger.
in, and now you can see
Oh,
it.
it's big.
Okay. So some of this is just kind of playing around with it. In this case, okay, we're going to drop that picture in, but I don't need all this snow.
Right.
So I'm going to double click on it. And then where that corner is, I'm enlarging it.
Okay.
Then I'm going to move it sideways.
Uh-huh.
And now it got compared to what it had before. See where here, right, it had all that snow. I just
Uh-huh.
cropped it. Okay. So I dropped it where it needed to be. Here's a picture. Here's a picture. I'm going to bring over a picture of the inside. Maybe you do want to be able to show the size of the property. So I'm going to drop that in and I'm going to center it, but I'm not going to crop it because that's how it wants to drop it in. So
Mhm.
I'm not going to crop it, but I am going to center it because in this case, on this house, the whole point was this is a big house, a small house in acreage in the city.
Mm.
And this picture shows what it's like versus that picture. That really doesn't show anything.
No, it doesn't show the
But this
land.
picture did. So it shows that it was all of that. So I can put it in there.
That was
So
smart marketing.
yeah, we'll drop that picture in there. Now, let's say you've added your logo, you've changed your contact information. I'm going to go to elements. I'm going to add, let's do something fun. I'm going to add a little heart. Okay. I'm going to add a little heart. I changed, this is my contact information. delete that. I'm gonna put this little heart right here,
Mhm.
make it a little smaller. And then I am going to go to my uploads. And go down here, I'm gonna find that little picture of Tom and me.
Cute.
I'll make it super professional, because
Mm.
look at, why not put a heart of a husband and wife team on there?
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's not, I can't
Love
find
is
it,
in the air.
but I'm gonna, so that's a frame. So
Right?
now I'm going to drop it into the frame,
Oh, cute.
contact us.
Oh, that's cute.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
so now I have everything done. I've changed everything I want. Now I want to be able to post it to Facebook. There are different ways to do it. I think you can actually share, I think. See all, let me see what's in there. You can share it directly to social media. I usually don't do that. I will usually download it to my computer and then I will do it later, because I'm not usually thinking, oh, I got to type up all my type and I got to get my, my wording right and everything. So I will create it first
And then you pull it over.
and then I
like a
pull it
picture
over
type.
like a picture. So let me go back to, there is no way, let's say you're doing an open house flyer and you're going to go door knocking and you're going to print all these out. You want to do 50 copies of it. You cannot print directly from Canva.
Okay.
Or I haven't found a way. There's no way to print directly from Canva. Yeah, I didn't
So
think
you
so.
download it to your
So you
computer.
download it. You can copy a link to share it, but you're going to go to download
Here.
here. Oh,
15 of those.
yeah. So you're going to have some options. Our flyer is ready. We're going to download. Save it to our computer. Right here, it has different versions: PNG, JPEG, PDF, PDF for printing, if it's a PowerPoint, that kind of thing.
But you're
For
gonna
social
print.
media, well,
Oh.
depends on how you print. For social media, JPEG is going to be your best bet. PNG, this whole thing has a background, but if you save it as a PNG, now if you upload it to something else, it's going to have that clear background. It's going to treat it as a clear background. So it's kind of funky. I don't use that very often. PDF, if you wanted to make a poster out of this and you were going to send it to, who does printing? Vistaprint, you would save it as a PDF to your computer. And then when you go into Vistaprint, you would upload it as a PDF because your quality is going to be better. But for social media or just for, I'm going to say general printing, however you want to do it, you can save it as a PDF if you can print a PDF from whatever printing program you're using. But I'm going to save it as a JPEG, okay?
Because you're going to social.
Because
media.
I'm going to social media.
If you were gonna print that for flyers, you'd get a PDF.
You could go to PDF. It kind of depends. So like on my printer, I can print either way. And I would say personally, my quality is about the same. Some printing systems, like I don't ever print anything up here at the office, so I'm not sure how it prints best. PDF might be your best way. If you're sending it to, we used to have Kinko's, FedEx isn't even here. But if you were going to send it to them, they will usually use it as a PDF because your quality, you don't lose quality in enlarging, reducing sizes, things like that. But let's just say that for social media, we're going to save it as a PDF. So, and I'm not going to do it because it's not my computer. You would hit download. Okay. And it would save it. Then you would upload it just like you would any other photograph to social media. So let's say we love this layout. We're going to use this all the time. It's going to be consistent. I'm a big proponent of consistency, but that's my OCD comes out. Other people aren't, but let's say that this is what we like. So,
All about easy.
okay, easy. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this page. Now I have the same page. Now, see, so this, see that purple line right around there?
Yeah.
That's actually the background. I'm going to change and right here is your color. Okay. the background color. Because I have a branding kit set up through the pro account. These are all my branding colors, but I don't have to use that. But for kicks and grins, this right here, this is actually KW red. And that, so if I click on that, can you guys see where it says number CEO11F?
Yes.
That number was actually taken from the marketing and promotion download that used to be in my KW. And Caesar and I can't find it anymore. So that is actually the KW red. This I call KW gray. I just kind of found it. If you guys want to write these down, you can. So KW red is number CE011F. CE011F. What I call KW gray, and I think this might also be spec'd, is 828282, kind of a medium gray.
W reds, I'm sorry.
KW red is CE011F. A light gray is CCC. So 6 C's. And I'll show you where I got these colors. A medium gray that is compatible with KW is 828282. A dark charcoal gray is 4D 4D 4D. FYI, so just a plain black is 6 zeros. And plain white is 6 Fs. 6 Fs. F is in Frank. Now, if you have your own colors, so we have our own colors, so I know what those colors are. If you use, there's another agent who uses orange. If there's another agent who yellow, Shelby uses pink. Whatever her pink is, she would be able to type that in. And I don't even know what a color would be, but if you're not sure, add a color. And then you can find something. So let's say that Shelby's pink is that, okay? That pink, here's her number for her pink. I'm just using this as an example, but that's her pink. Or let's say, oh, I really want to start using branding colors and you're not going to use red. A lot of KW people do, and that's perfectly fine. But let's say your branding color, you're like, oh, purple's my favorite color. I want to use purple. Okay, go there and see what that color looks like. And if you're like, oh, I really want it a little darker. Okay, what does that look like? And if you notice this number, that number is going to translate pretty close to different things that you print. If you note that color, whatever color that is, Dean's Trophy is going to ask you about it. Potentially, Cass Gazette's going to ask you about it. Vistaprint is going to ask you about it. And it may not be exactly because everything's going to print a little differently, but it can get you close. See what I'm saying? So let's go back to this. Okay, so we're going to use that color. Okay, so we're just going to use that color. Yeah, we're going to use that color. And you don't want to change all because then everything can change. So I just use with that. But let's say this was our flyer and this is our new color because it's part of our branding. Now I have a second color. It's still the same style. It looks different. It's a different house. Now maybe it's a congratulations or closed And then you put something else in here, yeah, bless you. You can change this color. See where is it? Fill, get this out of the way. Right now, this is where your color is, down here. But if I want to make it,
That's pro though.
this,
Yeah,
no, you can change any
okay.
color.
Okay.
But if this is my color, and so over here, I'm not really sure what colors I want. If I know that this is, oh, nope, I didn't want to do that. So go back. If I've picked maybe some other colors, let's say I'm gonna make that a light pink. Light pink. You can, and maybe you don't know. You don't know what colors are gonna go together. You can use these
Maybe that
suggestions. And it's gonna have a different feel. This color scheme has a different feel than that color scheme.
Right.
Just like different typefaces are gonna have a different feel. So when you're thinking about your branding, your style, do you want something that's very sophisticated? Do you want something that's a little more whimsical? Do you want something like, what does that look like for you? And your typefaces are gonna be that as well. So I put in light pink, we're gonna make that box there. There you go. But my typeface now looks kind of funky. It's not gonna maybe show up as well. So I can go with black. There's my colors. This is the black we used before, and it changes that. Okay. So now we've got same type style. Maybe we're going to do this post in Facebook now. You're going to share. You're going to download, but you're going to stop because see where it says select pages? You just hit download. Now you're downloading both pages into a zip. And it's not as easy to find. So but this is just the one you want to use, right?
Right.
So you're going to do not that page, and you're going to do that page. Now it's just going to download your one page
Why were there 2 pages again?
because it defaults to current. It defaults to, when you download, it thinks you want to download the entire project
Oh. And why was there another page though? Can I
because,
see the
yeah,
other page?
there's the other page because this was
Oh.
this was our original. And
Okay.
so we're working smarter, not harder.
Yes.
We're not rebuilding this whole
Okay.
thing. We're going with our style, whatever our style is.
I just couldn't figure
Yeah.
out why there were 2 pages.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get it
Now,
Okay.
maybe the way your brain organizes is I'm going to have different styles of open house flyers. You can add a page. Ooh, I don't need it pink. Oh,
Oh.
that's all right. We don't need
Yeah.
any
We can do
color.
white.
Yeah, we'll just do white. So added a page. I didn't duplicate a page.
Right.
This is duplicate your page.
Uh-huh.
This is add a page. Okay. So now I'm going to go into designs. And I'm going to pick a different design. Let's see, open house flyer. Maybe I want to do, now you get some different kind of styles. Okay. So maybe okay. I put that one in there. Ignore it. I shouldn't have done that because,
But whatever.
so
Yeah,
I'm
just
just looking for a style. Okay. Maybe I want to use this one. Okay. That has a very different feel to it
I like that.
than that one.
Mhm.
See, they feel different,
Mhm.
which is different than that one. Where'd it go? Oh, add a page. So it can be overwhelming. Oh my gosh, there's so many options. Just play around with them. See what feels right to you. They're already spec'd for your typefaces. more like
Can you use
this.
this on reels as well?
Uh-huh,
Okay,
yeah.
I really like doing reels, but they don't look that professional, you know?
That's because everything's already designed for you.
Yes.
And when, like, so let's say you like this style. And forget what it says, but you like this style.
Right.
You like the way the typeface feels, you just like all of that.
Right.
Or maybe you like that one. You like that style. The typeface is already picked for
Right.
you. So just go in and type your information. Go in and type your information here.
So
Remember,
get the feel and then
pick the feel and
play
then,
with the,
mhm,
just put in what's yours.
right,
Make it personal.
right. So like this, I like something like
love
that. But since I'm in a team with Tom, finding that balance between real structured and a little looser has been a challenge.
Yeah.
But we have found it. But if, like, I love that typeface, I think that's a really great style. You can do something with, it is, and maybe it goes with whatever your logo is, or maybe you don't know what you want your logo to be. There's different typefaces. This one is Arapi, so that's the typeface, but it's going to have a very different feel. So let's say you like the style, but you're like, this is hard. This typeface is hard to read. I just don't know if I'm going to like that typeface. And you say, I don't want something that's scrolly, but whatever. If you click on it, it gives you all these options. And you can see what the feel is for each one. This is what it is right now. But maybe you want maybe your whole feel is a little more whimsical. Okay. Handwritten. So it's going to give you all these different styles in handwritten. Okay, not a good choice.
No.
But you can really get bogged down. If you're not careful, you can get really bogged down in looking for the perfect typeface, looking for the perfect whatever.
So
Don't
find the project
kind of find a project and then start
implement.
working with it.
Yeah.
If you notice, like on this style, this design, see right here, it says template style.
Yeah.
Those are all the colors that it chooses because that's what this design pulls from. So like if you go on that, you can change your style. But maybe that's not your colors. For us, we have tried to incorporate our colors and they're not shade types of things like this, but the colors we chose were specific and intentional because we were playing into our other business as well. But whatever your style is, see where it says shuffle?
Yeah.
It'll take the same
I
thing
like that.
and it'll take all those colors. So if you have a branding kit, which is the Pro, when I go into mine, here's my color palette. So I can shuffle all those colors and it's the same style. So work smart, not hard.
No wonder Lonnie's like, you all need to come to this because some of you, and that would be me. I'm not like.
So, I mean, we've covered a lot of stuff,
Yeah,
but if you can
I feel like
create
I've-
something that you like and simplify it,
Yeah.
then it's really not as you literally you upload your pictures after your photographer. Well, you're going to upload them to your computer and you don't need to load 45 pictures in.
Just a few.
But you'll do a couple of, if you know that your style, like if this is the one that you use all the time, or don't, you can bounce it around. I like consistency. Me personally, that's my personality. Some people are like, I'm going to make every single one look different. As long as you've got KW logo and the contact information, knock yourself
And
out.
you can
You can do whatever.
You can make them look different just by duplicating and then shuffling the colors.
And then shuffling your colors. But if you already know this takes 4 pictures, then you've got your picture. You're going to upload those 4 pictures from your uploads over here. Upload folders. Of course, again, yeah, upload your files. And these are all the things. So like the design we use, I used these 6 pictures. Okay, fine. On those other ones, I only need 1 picture.
Right.
But if it's one of my listing folders or listing flyers, then I will do the layout in my own personal projects. Let me go to my projects. This was one of them I was gonna do, but I just haven't. So when I go into this, I kind of like this style because it shows a big picture and then there's a couple of small pictures. You know, I can just change my information. If you want a background, so I'm gonna duplicate, let's see, I'm gonna duplicate this page. And then for my background, see if I can find it. If I want to, is it tools? No. I want to show you, oh, animate. See? It was the same picture, right?
What did it do?
I
didn't
did
notice.
animate. Okay. So this is just my standard,
Uh-huh.
okay? I want to animate it. See how it moves?
Oh, okay. I see. Yes.
If I want it to come up that way
Okay.
But-
So on
and
social media.
on
that's the way
social
to do
media.
that.
Mhm.
Okay.
This is my timing, you asked what it was. So you can adjust your timing
Well, that's
and
pretty
it'll, you can apply it to all 12 pages. I don't want to do that,
Mhm.
but you can adjust that thing.
Apply it to all 12. Oh.
Yeah, if I wanted
all
to
of
make
your
all of them, but I don't
duplicates.
want to.
Okay, I see.
So I'm gonna go back. All I'm just doing is going back. You can make it that way.
This is really good. I
So
think I
see?
can do it, yeah.
So then if I'm gonna do it to that page. I'm gonna say coming soon. This is where you can rename it. Instead of it just being page 1, page 2, page 3, animate it.
Oh,
Okay, just so that I know what it is.
Uh.
So then let's say I want to download it to my
Yes.
computer. I'll go to download.
And then you have to,
It's now an MP4 play video because it's moving.
okay.
It's a moving thing, which will upload the same way,
Uh-huh.
but because I've added animation, it is now an MP4
But all
video.
12,
No,
just that one.
just that one.
And
But I'm
so-
gonna select which pages.
Right, okay,
Current page, that's the only one I want.
okay.
Or let's say that you've done 2 flyers and you've got 2 things that are coming up and you want to download page 1 and page 6
Mhm.
of your
So
project.
you've already got it.
Then, right, then you can not select that one, then you can just go in and you can select which one.
ones?
So
And
you would,
are they separate then, or are they
then
together?
if you download them together, they will come in kind of as a zip and then you have to go
Oh,
into.
okay.
So if I have 2 things I want to print, I'm gonna download one and then I'm gonna come back and download another. It's easier for me to find.
Yeah,
Okay, so then you would hit done and it would download it.
okay.
Okay,
understood. Well, I might
Okay.
have to be dangerous.
okay, you do, exactly. And it's kind of fun. Don't get overwhelmed with what you can do. Let's say you're like, okay, I'm gonna create a postcard. A birthday postcard. Oh, okay, couldn't find any
For
postcards.
social media,
No, like, let's say you're gonna print them out
okay.
and you're gonna mail them or whatever.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
that, I couldn't find it. But you can do everything. You could do a gift certificate. You can do you can, anything you can think of. This was a PowerPoint. So you guys have seen kind of this.
Yeah,
When Tom did the PowerPoint, we did the PowerPoint based on one that we created for our senior living communities. So we presented to Carnegie Village. It's 39 pages. Well, not all of those pages necessarily applied to us. So I took this file and I created a copy of it right here.
uh-huh, right,
Make a copy. Okay.
right.
So I made a copy
And then-
and then we kind of changed things around. In this particular case, we also did we were the sponsors for the First Friday Coffee at the Belton Chamber. So I took that same full program that we did for here. I created it. And because it was on a scroll, this is basically a PowerPoint folder. just like what we do for team meetings, same type of thing. But I went in and I edited them. So I had copied the original, changed this, welcome to the First Friday Coffee. This was our second page. This is basically the same presentation that you guys saw. I just reused it for something else. But I animated it.
Right. Oh, so it
So-
moves
so-
along?
So it plays, it's a setting, and it's a setting. So each screen was 15 seconds.
Okay.
When I multiplied it out, see where it says duration?
It was the duration of your copy.
Yeah, it
Oh
was,
my gosh.
well, what it did was it held each screen for 15
Mhm.
seconds, so long enough for people to, but not so fast that over the course of an hour, they were like, oh my God, we've seen this 5 times. So it ended up being about right here, the duration, and you can, so you can adjust your
So they
time.
would've seen it 3 times.
They would have seen it, yeah.
probably.
Yeah, so it wasn't enough time to make everybody stare at it,
Yeah.
but it was enough time to catch their
Yeah.
eye and come back to it. So
And
you can do
didn't
things.
Have to do anything with it. So when you were
I
a
went in,
sponsor, you just had that up there and then what?
and then we had the coffee, and then just like,
That's it. So
yeah.
people would talk to you about this.
Actually, we had several people come up and ask us about it.
Did you have to talk during this though?
No, the First Friday Coffees is like just a coffee networking thing,
Oh.
but because we were the sponsor for it, then we got to say, hey, this is what we do, and here's,
Yeah.
we got like 5 minutes to
And
talk.
here's a slide for you
Uh-huh.
all to kind of watch. while
And so
you're
we
together.
actually, and not everybody does that, but we had it playing in the background, just
Great.
kind of going. We didn't have music or anything to it because it was loud, but you can put music behind it.
Uh-huh.
And in this particular case, again, work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
I didn't have to recreate everything. I just duplicated and took
Yeah.
out what I didn't need. When we did the presentation here for real estate agents, again, a lot of the information was the same
Same.
type of thing, but I was able to target each slide.
Right.
What did I call it? Oh, show more. I don't remember where it put it. I called it for real estate agents or something like
Yeah.
that.
I understand.
Oh. But I was able to go in and like, oh, well, that slide doesn't really apply, or, oh, that one doesn't, we don't need that one, or, oh, that, we don't need any of that.
Right.
Oh, here, real estate focus. So this was the same presentation. I just put in things that were a little more specific. This was a new graphic that we had. We dropped that video in. So I wasn't recreating everything. These pictures, you can drop in your elements. So let's say you are doing a flyer and you want a generic picture of someone sitting down having a consultation. Okay.
Mhm.
Just not this picture, but so you would put in business meeting. And it's got all these stock pictures.
I didn't know
Do you
that
want
they did that.
graphics? Do you want videos? Do you want photos? So let's go to photos.
Oh, yeah, there's.
This one. And drop it in there.
Right.
These are going to have a little crown on them. So they're going to be,
Pro.
pro. You can drop this one in. A lot of the pictures when I was creating the PowerPoint. Oh, I didn't spell that right. Seniors exercising.
Um,
Didn't have to have a picture. No, I didn't have to have a picture. But like when we were talking about proactive people, that's where I got a picture.
Those look like active people.
Yeah, well, I'm just, as an example, so you don't have to come up with all new pictures. You don't have to come up with new graphics. You have things over here. So your elements are pieces of things that you're putting in. Photos, videos, graphics. Sometimes they're line drawings. old people, that kind of thing. Now, what I will say, and I learned this the hard way, and then we can kind of wrap it up. If you're scrolling through here and you're looking for a picture, and you're like, oh, I think maybe that's the right picture, but I'm not really sure. Then you go on to something else and you come back and you try and find oh, see, went away. And you try and find that picture that you were looking for.
Recent.
It's a total shuffle. You
Oh.
may not find it. So if you think that you like a picture and you're not sure, my suggestion is, oh, these are all ones that I used. My suggestion is slide it over to just like slide it onto your page somewhere.
For a recently used.
Yes,
make it like
so
that.
that you can find it again. Because if you find the perfect picture of a kitty cat, and then you go back and try and find that same kitty cat, you may not find that same kitty cat.
Okay.
Because there could be 1,000 pictures in there. And it's when you go into your elements, this is a random shuffle as far as like what comes up at the top.
Right.
I mean, look how many there are. So if you see something that you think you like, just slide it over.
Okay.
You're like, oh, okay, slide it over. And then you can actually move this. You can move them to like, oh, okay, I don't need it on that page, but I'm going to use it on this page.
Oh my gosh, you can.
And you can have
Okay.
it. Make sense?
Yeah. If you know your thing.
If you kind of have like what you think it's gonna,
Mhm.
where was I? I better check and make sure I don't have, oh, here it is.
Oh, because it
Yeah.
saved automatically.
Because it's, yeah. So slide over what you think you might need.
And then.
Oh, I don't want to do that. See, I meant to didn't mean to take that out. Oh, I can use this little back arrow is
Yes.
your friend. It's the
Yeah.
undo button.
Well, I think I can probably do an open house flyer.
There you
or
can,
something.
you can.
So, something.
So lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of things we covered.
Yeah.
Do you have any general questions? Was this helpful? would you like
Yes,
rather,
that's
would you like to have another, okay, I've played with this for a while now, what do I do
Yeah, I
type
think I
thing?
can play with it for a minute and do some things, and then you come back.
So,
and
did you learn
show us
anything?
some bigger-
Are you,
Yeah, I'm not-
anything you're like, oh, I can't do this?
No,
Okay.
I think maybe I'll need help, like, I'm doing flyers and stuff.
Okay. Well,
I
we're-
think
well, and I mean, and if there's somebody else in Southland that's like a better teacher or knows more or whatever, that's perfectly fine. I just was kind of sharing with you what I know.
No, you're fine.
So it can be overwhelming. When I started, I was like, I just need to make a gift certificate. I don't know what to do. And I didn't even know where to start. And Vicky, or my daughter Abby, she's like, Mom, it's so easy. No, it's like, there's so many choices for templates. Where do I start? You just got to start. Just see what you like, get a feel for the style, kind of think about what your colors are. I've told you what the KW colors are. If you've got your own colors, by all means, use those. You don't have to have the brand kit. It just makes it easier. And the brand kit is part of the pro. But being able to take out backgrounds, I didn't still have an example up here. So I made my mom a picture on Shutterfly. We'd gone on a trip. She had a picture of a lighthouse, but it did not fit an 8.5 by 11 shape. And I must have deleted it out of the account. I imported it into here. I used the feature that was Magic Stretch. Here, I'll just go to that one because I can open. Not resize. Resize is used if you have this layout and you're like, oh, I want it to be long rectangle for Instagram. You can do that. So that's what resize is. But if I have this and I can edit, where is it? Oh, edit. Okay. This is background remover. Remember that will take out like all this background. But edit, background remover, magic eraser lets you take out a truck or whatever you want to do. Magic grab will let you actually, like I could take a picture and I can move this house. and set it off to the right. But that's what's called Magic Studio.
Is that pro?
It's pro.
Okay.
Magic Edit, you can replace objects. Magic Expand, this is the feature that I used because her picture was not quite the right shape. Magic Expand, it kind of will magically duplicate a part of a page, and it uses AI to fill it in.
Oh.
You don't use that as often. Shadows, oh, that's how I did with this, okay. Shadows. See, that's where I did the shadow on here. You can blur part of a picture. You can do a lot more things with the Magic Studio and some of the filters. So you can definitely get started without the other one, but then you'll be like, oh, it does that.
Yeah, and so you'll want to after
So
you
you'll
get
want it.
going on it.
Yeah,
but
kind of. Oh,
You
absolutely.
can, but I have a question.
Absolutely.
Is, well, this thing. No, go back. Go on. I shut it off.
Oh, and here, this one right here. So this is what I posted yesterday.
Uh-huh.
This took me 5 minutes to do.
Huh.
I was looking for, I don't know, checklist or something. I don't know what I put in there. And I like this design and it had these little things
Yeah.
and I don't know, it was,
It worked.
I don't know. So I was like, oh, we'll just do that. So it was super easy. Oh, there's calendars.
Mhm.
Like if, let's say you want to make a checklist for your clients, you need to do this here, this needs to be done before this can be done, before this can be done. Okay, so maybe it looks like daily planner. I can add a new template as a new page. Okay, not, and then you can go in and you can modify that and you can say things to clean up. And then you can just have like a little list of things like clean up the leaves around your yard, whatever that looks like. You can use them for anything. Class schedule, add as a new page.
So see, if I go here to the plans and pricing,
Uh-huh.
so there's the free one.
Yeah, so it's that one.
Okay, and I go on there, see it $120.
Yeah, 120.
But not here, it's not. 300.
Yearly, USC.
Doesn't make sense, does it?
Says for a team of 2.
Yeah, so where'd it get the idea that there's a team of 2? There's a team of 1.
For one person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
What
know.
has me stuck every time?
That's like mine stuck too.
Were you a team before?
Long, like 13 years ago.
I mean, but on Canva, were you a
Uh-huh.
team before?
Not that I'm aware.
Settings.
Because if you go in and look at what I purchased before, I just don't know where it's getting the idea I'm a team. But somewhere it's, what's it mean? People management, maybe. Oh, team.
Because right
profile.
here, because it says Sandy's
Okay,
team.
let's take that off. Cancel? No, you gotta take it out.
Group, people management.
I keep sending to Apple.
Okay, Christina.
That's
take her
why.
Off.
That's big, that's why, is because
Okay.
it thinks you're a team.
Okay, take her off, because she's not. She was supposed to, but she never did. I knew that was in there somewhere.
Delete. Removing the,
Now that you
once they
say
are
that.
removed, you'll no longer have access to their designs, anything
She
that,
doesn't have anything.
okay,
I was getting it set up for her to be a realtor, but she never did. She's
Okay.
a realtor, but she doesn't
Now-
practice it. I'm even listing her own house.
Team
So-
profile.
She's probably on. Oh, we're off now, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, I
Oh,
think
no,
we're, no,
no.
we're still on. Okay, now try and go into subscriptions and see if it does it. You can do something like this. So what I pulled up was kind of like this. And then that's where I said, Canva 101, I just changed that. I was like, oh, this is cute. No, and then I just changed the type,
There
what it
is.
said.
You're right. You got me fixed.
There you go.
Thank you.
So
I've been trying to do that for so long.
it's because it was looking at you
Yeah.
like you were a thing. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, make some notes. We can do another class if anybody wants
Okay.
to. I think once you play with it a little bit,
Yeah.
it's definitely going to be one of those things where the more you play with it, the more a lot of it will make sense. So if you had the Canva class whenever ago it was, a year ago, probably some of that stuff registered, but the more you start working with it, you'll be like, I remember this somewhere, and there's so much to do on it. You only really need to know what you need to know.
Yeah, I've played with it before, so this class just solidified a few things that
Uh-huh.
I didn't know.
And I didn't know for sure where my open house was, but that one that said hello in the examples that you all had, I went in and I used that. And then I did my shuffle and my colors, and I didn't have to line anything up. I didn't have to create the lines, the check boxes. I didn't have to do any of that. So I was able to modify that actually for a vendor show that we did. And I used that same thing. And I just cut them into strips. I changed the wording in it and I cut them into strips. So,
Well, thank you for that.
so you're welcome. Like I
Yeah.
said, if anybody has any questions, just write them down. Because if you have a question, somebody else probably does. And if there's interest, we can do another,
I do have a question.
like a
about
1.5. So, I am gonna find Caesar. Let's hold that thought. I'm gonna find Caesar to make sure that we can get out of it, or we are out of it, or whatever. Because I don't want to delete anything. So let me find him.
Or it does some jujitsu.
We're done, but I don't want to like accidentally erase anything.
Fire.
Uh-huh.
I'm still
I don't want
waiting
to close
for-
out and then have it disappear.
Good.
Personal experience.
Yeah, it is actually.
That is, came over from them, so I think she. So we're. waiting, I'm still
Okay.
waiting on the agent to give me a couple of documents, and I've asked her like 10 times. Like I said,